Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next fighter out of the blue corner, Vachayan So Bangkhur. And his opponent out of the red corner, Junyi Ji. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 4-round affair in the welterweight division. Fighting out of the blue corner with a professional record of 12 wins, 44 losses, and no draws. Hailing from Thailand, this is Vachayan So Bangkok. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner with a professional record of 3 wins, 1 loss, and no draws. Hailing from China, this is Junyi Ji. Judges ringside, Pinit Prayapsap, Arkom Wanasit, Warasak Pak Di Kam. Referee in charge of the action, Wanchai Bongsuri.
Okay, folks, here we go. It's another China versus Thailand matchup, and this is going to be in the welterweight division. In the red corner, we've got Junyi Ji, representing China. He's got 4 fights in his record, going up against the very experienced 56-fight veteran Vachayan So Bangkhur.
To have 56 fights and have no draws on your record shows that you're a win or lose type of guy. You either go for it or you at least take your loss.
And that is probably definitely something that he is not going to take very lightly.
And we can see the massive size difference once again. So these fighters from China are a lot taller than the fighters from Thailand in these matchups so far. But will Thailand do it? Will they take the fight away from the man from China? We will see, Ali.
One thing I'm thinking, Jim, what are they feeding them in China to be this big? They're giants for the weight.
Something you should be eating as well, Ali.
Yeah, definitely. Be having a chat with them afterwards. Good jab there from the man from China, Junyi Ji.
So Junyi doing a very good job to just stay out of the range because he's against a short, stocky veteran fighter who's got very vicious body shots and a very nice jumping left hook as well.
Vachayan is doing that, making himself nice and small. Like you said early on in previous fights, when you're going up against a taller fighter, you've got to make yourself as small as you possibly can. And we're seeing that from Vachayan as he goes down and goes above with that left hook.
Yeah, Vachayan's got to really try and channel his inner Joe Frazier here. Just dip nice and low and then swing a left hook upstairs, but swing that left hook when you're pivoting as well. And we're seeing it now, and this is where Vachayan just needs to come alive and just give it everything he's got. Junyi Ji doing a good job to keep his opponent with his back against the ropes, holding central ring as well.
Vachayan on the back foot, trying to stay nice and low, almost landed that hook.
Junji Yi really doing a good job to stay calm in this opening round and throws a nice rear uppercut followed up by a right hand as well. Junji Yi doing a great job right now to control the pace and really back Vachayan into the corner.
Jab there from Junji Yi.
Junji Yi really biding his time, trying to find those openings, which I like to see. He's not wasting time, he's just waiting for the correct time right now, and that's why he's throwing that jab out. As soon as he connects with that jab, he's going to start throwing in that right hand as well with it.
Vachayan being patient, biding his time. We've got the final minute of round 1 now.
Junji Yi holds central ring exactly where he needs to be. Vachayan does not need to be there. Vachayan needs to get close to his opponent, really start roughing him up and really start getting the respect that he needs right now. He's got good hooks, but can he find this very tall target in front of him?
You see, every time Jun pushes forward, Vachayan just crouches even lower, making it a lot harder for him to hit him. And he's trying to go upstairs straight away with that left hook counter.
Vachayan doing what you're supposed to do if you're the smaller fighter. Get nice and low, get explosive. Like the great Floyd Patterson, he used to basically get his chin to touch the floor, make it very hard for your opponent to hit you, and then just explode with hooks upstairs.
Okay, we're in the final seconds of round 1, and that is it. We'll go into round 2 soon, but we have the replays coming for you very shortly.
So a very interesting round, to say the least. Very much an even round, I would say, for punches that were landed. We did see Vachayan doing a very good job to land some very big shots upstairs, but that was that moment we saw that rear uppercut followed up by a right hand as well that just missed the target at the end. But one thing I'm starting to see is that Junji Yi is starting to put the punches together and he's starting to find his combinations. So this is only a 4-round affair, but he's already started to find his target. I'd like to see him start opening up more and just kind of taking a chance on these combinations.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy, but just how low Vachayan is going down and then coming up with that left hook, is that almost he's emulating Mike Tyson in a sense?
To an extent. I mean, it's the peekaboo style. When you're a shorter fighter, you need to find ways, because you're always going up against someone taller, and that is what you need to do. You make yourself explosive with your movement, so the lower down you get, the more explosive you can be when coming up, and that's how you get the power on your shots. So, like I said, the original Mike Tyson was Floyd Patterson, and obviously created by Customata, who wanted to make people who are shorter be explosive and vicious.
Vicious Vachayan definitely is. There's that left hook that goes upstairs. Junji Yi not deterred by it at all, though. The showmanship by Vachayan.
And this is very interesting, because when you start resorting to things like this, it's a sign of frustration, but also trying to find those openings. Although this is only a 4-round fight, if Vachayan just sticks to the game plan of staying low and really delivering those vicious left hooks, he could really start timing that shot and put his opponent down. But is he getting frustrated in there? Is he trying to just bait his opponent in?
Right uppercut early on, though, from Vachayan. Junji Yi really needs to try and get a hand of this fight. Like you said earlier on, Jimmy, it's what you do at the beginning and the end, and Junji Yi just can't seem to get past. Vachayan just slipping and dipping, like making his body so low.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting thing, because I think Junji Yi doesn't really feel intimidated by this movement or this, because he's starting to put the combinations together now. This is exactly where he needs to be. He needs to start delivering, but he's going to be very much open to a left or a right hook. So if Vachayan can read this perfectly, he could send a hook upstairs that could really put his opponent down. Some nice work against the ropes here, and this is where Junji Yi, exactly what we were saying before, Ali, he needs to start putting combinations together. He needs to believe in the combinations. You cannot win boxing with just single punches unless you've got a lot of power.
Oh, you definitely can't. Like we're going to sound like broken records. You need to set it up. can't just be throwing these big, heavy punches like that uppercut, right uppercut early on that hit nothing but air.
Everything off the jab, and we're starting to see him do that right now. We're starting to see him unload with these punches. So he's having a very good round so far, but I would also like to see Vachayan use that to his advantage. You know your opponent's coming forwards, and you know your opponent is just throwing those combinations. Start sending those left hooks and right hooks upstairs. See how your opponent reacts. Maybe go to the body first and then go upstairs. Really bring your opponent's guard down.
Vachayan again going down low and coming up high with that left hook. Jab down the middle as well from Vachayan, looking very relaxed in there.
I think Vachayan is really trying to take some time as well. I think he's trying to just waste a little bit of time. This is very much what Chris Eubank used to do. He used to turn his back and make his fighter freeze in their steps, and it gives you that little bit of time to get a breather, but also think about what you're going to do next.
Junji targeting the body there as we're heading to the final seconds of the round. Vachayan slipping and dipping on the rope. And that left hook. And that is the end of round 2. We've got round 3 coming up, but we've got the replays first.
It's one of those rounds where it's very hard to score because it depends how you're judging this fight. Let's see some action replays here. So that was that left hook in the early stages of the round, landed by Vachayan, and he timed that left hook on the combination of his opponent. But that, to me, is the only way he's going to really win this fight, because I think the fight are going to start favoring Junji Yi at the moment because he's starting to land the cleaner, crisper punches. However, Vachayan has had so many moments there where all he has to do is time that one right hand of his opponent and then send that left hook upstairs.
Yeah, is it going to be the timing of Vachayan or the output, the work rate of Junji Shi?
I like these matchups, though. We've got a taller fighter against a shorter fighter. We've got a very experienced fighter against someone who's not that experienced. So it's a very good matchup, and definitely Junji Yi is holding his own against the veteran boxer that is Vachayan.
Here we go, round 3 underway. Vachayan in the blue corner wearing the yellow trunks with the blue and white trim. Junji Yi in the dark green trunks with the white trim.
Yeah, Vachayan, that's the first jab I've seen him throw, and that was when he was touching gloves. So it's something very interesting to see. If he started putting these jabs together, it would be very nice. Get nice and low and just start swinging. Obviously, when Joe Frazier went up against Muhammad Ali, that's what he did. He said, if I work the body, the head will fall. And that's kind of one of those classic sayings. Ken Norton used to do it as well. Work that body and start making that head fall. Beautiful work by Vachayan.
Right hand over the top there from Junji Yi. Vachayan, a bit of taunting coming here from the Thai fighter. Low guard too. Junji Yi doesn't really know what to make of it too much. He doesn't want to engage. Very apprehensive, Jimmy.
And I like that about him as well. When someone's showboating you, especially in an arena you're not familiar with, don't get involved with their antics. Don't start fighting dirty. Just stick to the game plan, and that's what Junji Yi is doing right now. He's sticking to the game plan, and I like to see that from Junji Yi.
Junji Yi, right hand down the middle from the Chinese fighter.
Biding his time, but it looks like he may have punched himself out. Is he waiting for the correct time? And Vachayan hasn't really given him anything to worry about in this round.
He's such an unorthodox fighter. You don't know what he's going to do. Drops his guard, you know, whatever he wants. Just comes, goes, dips his body weight down and comes straight up with that left hook. Junji Yi really feels like he's got a lot to think about, just looking at his body language.
And that's another good point. What is he going to do next? But Junji Yi sticking to the game plan, and that's how you win this fight. Stick to the game plan and just keep doing what you're doing. He's landing some nice punches here. Vachayan right now, to me, looks like someone who's surviving and having a good time rather than trying to put his opponent away. I'd like to see him start throwing those hooks again.
Vachayan really controlling the fight on the back foot. Junji Yi just trying to end Vachayan's night early with a uppercut, but they just haven't been connecting very well in this round.
Well, that's the other thing as well. An uppercut lands hard when your opponent doesn't see it, but he's basically telling him what he's going to throw. I don't think he's putting a lot of power behind these shots either. With that being said, Vachayan has definitely got a chin. He can weather storms. He's been in the professional boxing world for 55 fights.
Good flurry here from Junji Yi, trying to end the round strong, and it looks like he's going to do just that.
And an entertaining style from Vachayan, just having a good time in there and keeping boxing fun. But don't let it fool you, because Vachayan knows exactly what he's doing. He's trying to toy with you. He's trying to just basically survive this round, and in that final round, usually you see him come alive.
Okay, that was the end of the third. We will see you in the fourth, but before that, we've got these replays coming up. So really, it was Junji Yi just trying to dictate the pace, and Vachayan doing what he's done in the last couple of rounds, just stay on the back foot, conserve his energy, taught the young gun as much as he possibly can to throw him off his rhythm, and he did just that, didn't he, Jim?
Yeah, and look, Junji Yi did a good job to really stay behind the jab, stick to basic boxing, nothing flashy, because that's usually what happens when you're new to the boxing arena and you go up against a veteran fighter who starts toying with you. You're trying to impress the veteran in the gym. You're trying to prove to them that you can't be phased as a young gun. And I think that's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to prove to everyone that he will not be phased and stick to the game plan. Stick behind the jab, keep that right hand going, and eventually he'll find his target.
Okay, we move into the fourth round. This is the final round of action. Junji Yi in the red and Vachayan in the blue. Vachayan, a 56-fight veteran. Junji Yi just really cutting his teeth, as you will. This is his fourth professional fight. Sorry, his fifth.
Junji Yi starting to put the pieces together. He's got his opponent against the ropes. He's landing some good combinations. But again, Vachayan weathers a storm. He waits for you, and then he throws a hook upstairs.
Real surprise here. Junji Yi going for the uppercuts instead of the overhand right against a smaller opponent.
Well, if someone keeps crouching down, the one punch you can usually land is a rear uppercut, but you don't aim for the head when someone's crouching. You aim for the chest. If you aim for the chest, even if you don't connect to the chin, you've still hit the target. When you headhunt, you're more likely to miss. If you hunt for the chest, you either hit them to the chest when they're off target, or they dip into your shot. That's exactly how Lennox Lewis knocked out Mike Tyson, and that's how Lennox Lewis knocks out a lot of his fighters. He aimed the rear uppercut to the chest.
Yeah, great knowledge there from our man in the know, Jimmy Bowe, in the commentary booth. Vachayan coming over the top with these overhand rights and left hooks. Stiff jab down the middle from Vachayan as he moves back to the center of the ring. Junji Yi just trying to follow him as much as he possibly can, but really just making this fight very difficult for himself, in my opinion, just not landing the right shots. Really needs control of the fight with his jab more, but just trying to go in guns blazing with these heavy punching combinations and throwing, missing, sometimes hitting nothing but air, Jim.
And I think that's because he hasn't found the correct range yet. But here we go again. He's starting to put these punches together, but this is where Vachayan does all the time. He plays possum a little bit. He makes you come forward. But you're right. I think he's battling in the wrong range. He's basically fighting.
Oh, and the gum shield comes out for Junji Yi. Not a very good look. I mean, in Muay Thai in Thailand, that's pretty much an 8 count on the judges' scorecards if your mouthpiece comes out, because it shows that you're completely fatigued. But this is Western boxing. It's not going to count that much.
Interestingly, in Western boxing, spinning out your gum shield is one of those things where if you want to get a longer breather, you want to get a longer time, you spit out your gum shield, and it's just one of those things to give you a little bit of extra time to recover. 30 seconds to go of round number 4. And what I was saying earlier is, I think the issue here is Junji Yi has been trying to fight a close quarters fight when he needs to be at the medium range and maybe the long range, where set everything up off the jab and only land the close combinations for a very short period of time and then step back and find it again. But it looks like he's been in the middle of the ring too long.
What a showman Vachayan is, even in the dying seconds of the round. He's still coming forward and putting on a great show for the fans. We're on to the 10-second mark now. Bit of almost acrobatics there from Vachayan as he dips down and throws another signature left hook. And that is it. That's the end of the fourth and final round. We're going to the judges' scorecards yet again.
A great fight, entertaining, and he always puts on an entertaining fight. He's been in many fights where some people would say he's not going to win this fight. He's a complete underdog. There's no chance. But I've seen him pull it back several times. So Vachayan, to me, boxes in a very fun way, and it's very entertaining for the fans. But look, Zheng Yiji did a great job to stick to the game plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of exciting action, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this fight 40-36 to your winner by unanimous decision, red corner,